I'm with Terry Koehler, president of Ben Hogan Golf. And this year, Hogan fans have a couple things to be really excited about. There are some new irons and some new hybrids. Terry, can we talk about the new hybrids first?
Absolutely. So we looked at the hybrid market. We said, this is a long iron replacement. And Mr. Hogan's one iron shot at Merion is probably the most famous iron shot of all time, probably the most famous golf photo. We looked at where hybrids are going, and they're increasing ball speed, but they're shallowing out the landing angle. They're reducing the spin, and you want that hybrid to replace a long iron. You want to hit greens with that golf club. You want that ball to land softer and spin. So we engineered the hybrid with a neutral weighting bias, but it produces a penetrating ball flight, but with increased spin. So it'll land soft and it'll hold the green. And then we created a very dynamic weighting system that lets us put an 18-gram weight and 3 2-gram weights. We've got 16 grams of movable weight around the golf club that we can move to the toe for a fade bias. We can move it to the heel for a draw bias. We can move it to the back for a little higher ball flight. Or we can move it to the front for a little more penetrating ball flight. So the most versatile hybrid. We produced every loft from 17 to 27 degrees, so we can perfectly gap the long end of your set.
I was going to say, with the weighting especially, I mean, this might be one of the most customizable hybrids on the market. I mean, if you hit it right, if you hit it left, it's a hybrid for everyone, depending on where you put those weights, basically.
It is, and we use our standard shaft length on the hybrids only a 1/4 inch longer than the iron it replaces, and this helps you get a club-to-club replacement. The world has been making hybrids an inch longer than the iron it replaces, and you're going to skew your distance gapping. And what we look at is from your fairway wood, your 3-wood down to your putter, you need to dissect that yardage. And you need to have every club in your bag designed to hit a specific yardage. And this hybrid allows us to do that at the long end of the set better than anything out there.
Yeah, I was hitting this earlier, and again, it was really easy to hit, very long. And I liked what you said, no limits in designing this one, right?
Exactly. We wanted to come out with a hybrid that addressed every single shortcoming we could identify in the category.
Okay,
One
great.
of the other things we developed with this club is more of a tour profile, so that we have this, it's wider across the bottom. Your misses with the low loft golf club are low. So we designed it wider across the bottom so that we could give you that low face performance that's very common to a low lofted golf club.
Right. And how about the irons? I just got done hitting them again, and those probably top 3 irons that I've hit today, for sure.
Well, what we did is, we looked at the iron market. We introduced the Fort Worth last year. It's a solid one-piece forging. It's very much a pure Ben Hogan golf club. But we had a lot of people that want a little bigger player profile. They want a little wider sole. They want a little more offset. Give them the visual confidence. So we approached irons. We said, the problem with game improvement irons is the short irons balloon the golf ball, and the long irons don't spin the ball well enough to hold the green. So we created a blended set that the long irons, the 20 to 31 degree clubs, are built in a hollow format with a tungsten weight in the toe. But this club is hollow, but it's not an ultra thin face. So you have modified perimeter weighting because we retain weight closer into the center of the face, but we're putting the weight in a proper position to give you a high ball flight with increased spin. But as you get into the short club, we knew that what we wanted is those penetrating trajectories that golfers are trying to get with their high loft golf club. So we created a first in the class. This is a solid forged golf club with a titanium core. So inside the forged steel is titanium, which removes half the weight from the center of the club, not all the weight from the center of the club. It lets us produce a solid golf club, but it's solid of 2 materials. You have a heavyweight carbon steel, the density of carbon steel. You have a lighter weight core. By doing that, as you go from the hollow club to the high lofted golf club, we're able to maintain an exact level center of gravity across the entire spectrum of clubs, whereas in a common game improvement club, you actually have a lower center of gravity in the high loft club, which is the reason you get those ballooning trajectories. And you have a higher center of gravity in the low loft club, which is why you have trouble getting it in the air and holding greens with it. So it's the first club to have a pure linear center of mass, as well as the multi-compound, multi-material co-forging.
And that's the first time titanium's been used in a club, you think?
In this configuration, nobody's ever forged titanium inside a carbon steel iron to achieve this effect.
Right. And one final last question. I told you I was just hitting, in particular the long irons felt so smooth and long, and we were talking about the face thickness or thinness of those, and I told you how these irons felt a lot different than the rest of the irons that I hit today. What did you do with the face that made me feel so good?
Well, there's some pixie dust in there behind the face of the golf club, and there's some shaping of behind the face of the golf club that ironically kind of takes the shape of the classic Hogan Starburst or Sunburst logo. But what it does, it provides a structural integrity behind the center of the face so that you get a more constant ball speed off of the face, high, low, heel to toe, and center, so that you get that consistent distance. The face is a little thicker to give you the feel of a solid forged iron. And the other thing we did is we forged the hosel and the face in one piece, and then the back of the golf club is forged in another piece, and then they're forged together.
Yeah, you were talking consistent. Your assistant who watched me hit, she was like fish in a barrel. Same thing, shot after shot after shot. It was repeatable.
Well, that's what you want. I mean, every golf shot starts with a yardage. The first thing you do is you go up and go, I'm 162, I'm 118. Then you go through your mind, what club options do I have to make the ball go that far the way I want that ball to fly? And we wanted to give you a shot maker's golf club, but with all the game improvement qualities you could possibly ask for.
Okay. Well, Terry, again, these are great irons. Everybody's going to want to check those out this year. When are they going to be available?
So the irons and the hybrids will both be available around the 1st of April.
Okay. All right. Great, Terry. Looks great. Thanks for everything, and good luck this year.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.